What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, guys? It's the Far Radio, And today, guys, in Atembani Grande, I'm not rolling alone as usual. I have my usual suspects.
yes, the usual suspects, the man himself.
Yes.
Zwaki Tech.
Yes.
Peace and greetings.
No,
man.
All is well. Just that winter is giving us now the last half of it. So we are feeling it.
Yeah, we
are feeling it. But then at the same time, it becomes weird because sometimes you know and then you go outside and then it's hot.
You know,
Man, you so I
know that's the case right now, right? It was cold. It's like, man, that's what Popeye man.
So,
but yeah, man,
that's the sad reality of life. The sad reality of 1 minute it's hot, 1 minute it's cold.
You never know.
1 minute you hot, 1 minute you
cold. You're not, man.
Exactly.
Like a flame, like a candle flame.
And it becomes a huge problem where you hot, everyone is cheering you up.
Yeah.
And then you don't become hot, then everyone is starting to criticize you.
And, people become cold.
Yeah, exactly.
You know criticize, man. So funny on criticism. Yeah, can I just to I need some table of content, right?
Yeah, true.
What they call table of content, right? Yeah, man. Just to give the people, man. So what we're going to be talking about is criticism, as my brothers mentioned. We're also going to be talking about the importance of customer service.
True. So as you were saying, King Menuguti will be talking about
criticism.
Sure.
The importance of customer service.
True.
And corporates versus art.
Yeah,
true. Yeah, man. So that's where we have today. Without further ado,
let's get into it,
man. Yeah. You know, when you talk about criticism, yes, what is criticism? You know, let's define it. Criticism, of course, is when someone gives you a perspective or a review or a crit of what they think about what you present to them. Whether it be maybe a view. Let's say you're working on a song, brother. And then you work on your song and then you come to me and like, hey, what do you think of the song? You know, I'm working on it, it's like 50%, but just what do you think about it? No, this is what I think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sometimes even if the product is finished, you know, okay, hey, what do you think about the song? Okay. Oh no, this is what I think about it.
True.
So basically it's criticism is basically what someone thinks about your work. What you give to them. And you know, man, I've often noticed how we as a people, hey man, criticism is a big thing.
Yeah,
people become touchy when you talk about criticism, you know, when you get a crit. Like when a king or like, how do you respond to criticism? How would you say, what's your take on criticism?
Yeah, for me, first of all, like I appreciate the platform as well. Into engayisho when a king man, what I've noticed most of the time is that criticism, yes, I agree on that aspect. So go say, like abantu bezo criticize your work and touchy and stuff, because I feel like most of the people sometimes they put their heart and soul, their time
into what they are producing.
So whatever it is that they do, sometimes you feel like it's not being appreciated, and you feel like it's not being reciprocated. But then at the same time, I feel like isikhathi esiningi as abantu, we have normalized destructive criticism so much that we sesiyenza ukuthi
that's the norm.
Yeah, because even the word it's
you're not attacking me.
It's a form of attack. It's not. And now what I've noticed the difference between criticism and destructive criticism, and it's the criticism is when someone is giving you tips on how to grow, and then destructive criticism is when someone is projecting themselves
onto you.
But then at the same time, it also counts. Now after you've executed your thing, who do you like seek for a guidance to?
Yes,
you understand? Because if umuntu who is not that touch or in tune or too emotional, you'll understand the power of yes, even if you do something, umuntu needs to have an opinion about it. Because as me, I might think, let me make an example. Let's say I attempt to do art.
Yeah.
You are the specialist of the arts.
Yes,
You understand?
Sir, yes, sir,
And then
yeah,
I do something, but if me nangiza going, I know very well ukuthi uzwaneni will give me
expertise.
Exactly.
And the experts,
you understand everything. So he won't just break my spirit. So now when was I say project? No, that one won't go.
Because you can tell when
that art is not going to work. Sure, I remember a video clip. I think it was a clip from The Breakfast Club. I think it was Rick Ross. He was speaking with you. I don't know if it was Angela E or Charlamagne, but I think at the time Angela E was there.
Yeah.
And Ross was talking about, I think it was Envy or Charlamagne who's talking about, what do you feel about someone copying you? And he was like, no, a person who's copying you and criticizing you, if it's someone who's not into that art field or who's not doing art or who doesn't have any form of a passion, especially a passion, then that person is not criticizing you, that person is projecting. But if it's someone who's in the field of art, it was also a reference to if like a lady wants to get into a radio station, like Angela E, she's studying that person.
She's studying that.
You understand that? So that's studying. It's not
criticizing.
It's not criticizing. So I feel like we jinx the difference between the two. And there's a fine line, obvious, between the two. But what I'm saying is that most they don't want to. That's it. But when you do something, you are bound to be criticized.
The whole point of doing something is to be giving to others.
It's like sales. What we say, the salesman will post his housing, not his
other. Exactly. The shortfalls
and the rejections. He will only post his closing. That's why I'm not so fascinated by the social media, because I know the life it emulates the clothing.
The clothing, not the result. Speaking of that, right? My thing on criticizing, you know what I've learned.
Sure.
Funny enough, you say that he spoke about like that's a dope point that about Ross, right? What he said. You know, between like that person is studying you, they're copying you, right? And that other person is just projecting on you.
True.
I've also learned this, man, on the path. You know, for me, I've learned I can take a crit, obviously I can take a punch. But when you're working on something, right?
True.
I think it's okay to take a crit. It's good, right? I get my opinion, get your view, my expertise. Like you come to me, I give you the point of in terms of the art, the visual art. I come to you about the song I'm writing. You like, hey, okay, still you can work on this, right? Because you're expert in the field. But I've learned that listen, bro, once I've completed that painting I've done, you see, my brother, if it goes out, whatever is coming, doesn't matter, because I've reached the end of my goal.
That's the thing.
You see,
that's the thing.
And a lot of people always have the tendency of, you'll see maybe a thing, maybe a piece of clothes, a fashion, you know what I mean? It's out there. How about this clothes, bruh? You can't. It's beyond critical. The result is now here. You can create. You can give your expertise on something that has been built. This thing has already been done. This building, I don't like. I've designed buildings and I don't like bruh, this building. This is the result now. We're now in the process phase. So whatever you say, that's unfortunately not meant anymore. Save it for the next project.
Exactly. and it's like I've always said it's so good to add on what you're saying. The fine line between you and that one song that can change your life is the export button. So that's the fine line. The fine line, like when it comes to music. Even editing.
We know what.
Because let me tell you something, Kingman, that I've noticed. I think also A$AP Rocky once said this. The most of the things that we see in the art field or the music field, it's 20% creativity, 80% editing.
Editing is right. Even in visuals.
So if you're as a creative, you have a skill of editing, it's easier for you to be like more convenient or to be less criticized. Now, what I want to stress out is that once you've done it, it's no longer. But now the question is, if I listen to criticism and didn't execute that portrait, then would I have been able to get the criticism that is going to
build you also? No,
you understand? So that's why I get this thing of criticism, it's more on the destructive side than it's projecting. Because someone who's looking out for you is gonna make sure they should strive. Yes, they'll go. Even the way that I'm not saying what there are people who talk about there are people who lash out when they criticize.
Yeah.
But to talk about like for me, I used to listen to Dan Penna a lot. That man would lash out to one of his people and tell them that you won't be nothing, you are can't, you this, you this. But you know what that does so an ordinary human being, he's giving them a highlight reel of what life is.
Yes.
Because as much as you may be passionate about the art, you have no control of what the outcomes and how the people
you don't have controls. You don't have control.
So you can only hope for the best. So someone can say, you fucking can't, you this, you this, and then you take offense.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you need to get out of that offense. Move away from, because at the end of the day you cannot sit like in dialogue saying someone said, but
the thing is you're also not that. You're not what he's saying.
Exactly. So he's unleashing, he's pissing you off so that you can be productive. And it brings me, so I saw a video, I think there was a video that I saw, I don't mean to detour a bit, but a good video that I saw, I think it was Pusha T was talking about Kanye West. He's not a good person to work with, and he makes the great music, he makes good music, but he's not the person to. But then my question to him, those stats was, and people were saying, no, we've seen there's a lot of people were complaining that Kanye West is not the great person to work with, the
and all that.
Like even he yells, sometimes he yells with him. But now the question is, Kanti, what is it that connects the two of you? It's the music. So he's good at the music. So what's the point?
Rest,
it's the process.
The process.
These roads that we see, these infrastructures, do we know what took place for them to stand? You understand?
Yeah.
And we like I always say this, King man. Majority, if most men about the if their women were to come to their workplaces, a lot of men would be unemployed. Because as a man, you are bound to take criticism. I'm not going to speak for women because I don't know how they are. But as a man, you are bound to take criticism. In fact, criticism is more, it sharpens you.
It does.
You understand?
Heavy,
it sharpens you
more
than anything. You understand? And that's why you have a thick skin. You develop a thick skin in the business field because you are being sharpened by the criticism. So now, if you are going to do something and you think you're doing the right thing, but only to find that you're not, how are you going to improve? How are you going to grow? How are you going to evolve?
You're not going to
evolve. You are not going to evolve. You are not going to grow. So that's why I'm saying, yes, criticism may be seen as something, it has the connotation of being a bad thing, or it's like when someone thinks of criticism, they think of something bad.
Due to them normalizing
destructiveness and the dysfunction. But at the same time,
criticism is actually
is a tool that is a necessity. So I and say, no, you're not going to be criticized. Those who are great
are always being criticized, even with the perfect. Even perfection has been criticized.
That's why I should go say, even though, like the reason I like Dan Penna is for that. I like Dan Penna for that reason. His ability to piss you off,
to be productive.
Exactly. And then you can what's okay as in, hey, this man is pissing me off, but then at the same time, he's pissing me off for the right reason. That's saying, I'm gonna be more productive now. I'm gonna do such and such, because as much as I was talking about the music, with the difference between you and that one hit song that can change your life is the export. But saying the difference between you and that one decision and that one meeting and that one trip and that one outfit and that one thing that can change your life is to get out of your bed. Make your bed and get out. That's the first achievement. That's why most people, I've always talked about the power of cultivating your environment to be your lava, because if you treat your environment as your lava, when you get back home, all the stresses from outside they dissipate. Exactly. So that's the thing with me. Like I can be lazy, but I make sure I wanna come back to a place and make give welcoming city. Welcome home, and then I know what's okay as in I'm welcome there. I can just lay on the bed. Can you imagine you're tired, you had a rough day at work,
bro?
Still you need to remove things. You didn't make your bed, you have to think. And it becomes a no, because now that's the thing.
It becomes toxic.
Exactly.
And it influences you.
And you start to normalize it. Because okay, no, the toxicity is what is needed.
But that's not.
It's not.
Hence the importance of criticism, even with yourself. to
Exactly.
evaluate yourself.
Yeah, but
But yeah,
introspection is what we call
introspection.
it. So
Yeah.
for me, like
Yeah, but
that's
no, man.
how I would love to see
I
it.
like how you put it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love where we took it, and
Hmm.
yeah, criticism, man, helps you to become more productive.
And it's like the other thing that I've always talked about. Most of the time when these are people who are giving the telemarketers, those people who are
Yeah,
phoning, the one that
yeah.
you call for customer service,
Yeah,
those people they criticize the most.
that's a
But-
norm. They've developed super.
That's why I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
they've become
Because
desensitized.
like those people in the customer service, sometimes 1 minute you have to be happy because you
That-
closed the deal,
yeah.
then the next minute now you
Yeah.
have to deteriorate. But
Yeah.
they always maintain their energy on a high.
Joe, and let's dive
Well,
into customer
exactly.
service, because that's where we get criticized a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know the importance of customer service or learning sales. I would say learning service skills is that hey, bro, customer service, as you're saying, you're constantly getting criticized.
True.
All types of criticism, positive and negative.
Mm.
So, you learn to have thick skin. You learn to calm your nerves. You learn to maintain,
True.
you know, a certain posture.
True.
You're like a tree, a palm tree, actually.
Yeah, true.
My thing is
True.
like you're like a palm tree, and you've seen palm trees. No matter the storm, no matter the waves, they can bend left, right, center, all the way to
Yeah,
the
true,
ground, but they
true.
come back always and stand.
Yeah, true.
You know what I
Regardless.
mean? Regardless of the storm,
Because
you know.
well, it's funny. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can continue, King Man.
No, I was saying, go ahead.
The funny thing about what you just said is coming from someone who's also doing sales
Yes.
in a way, abo.
Yes.
Um,
No, you are in your way.
yeah. So, because it's funny because we also have a friend who's the
It's
maestro inside.
Maestro.
Yeah,
He's
the maestro
for
inside.
me. He's the salesman of salesmen.
Yeah. So
Shout out to
yeah, Cheese PMC.
shout out to Cheese PMC,
Yeah,
man. Shout out to Cheese PMC, Dr. Pegu.
Yeah, yeah. So
Vuyane.
like into engifundile about sales and especially dealing with abantu because mina mostly I sell for abantu abamnyama.
Yeah.
Yabo, mostly nje my
One on
client
one
base.
too, yeah,
My client
yeah,
base is predominantly
your people.
my
Our
people.
for sure.
But then one thing that I've come to realize when I King Man, that I've come to learn is that abantu abamnyama with customer service, you can have the best customer service, King Man. It's like they will always want something to
more
like to criticize.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you can have the most
The
and,
best.
and I remember the other day I was walking with someone and then I went to a till and then I saw this person, like as I was walking, we were approaching the point of sale. So this lady's at the till. I could see that this lady's been having a rough day.
Yeah.
So this person that I'm walking with is talking to me and she's like, no, Jelaba, service wara. This thing, and I'm like, as in face, because I've worked at till before, and I was like, no, don't do this, don't add on to whatever it is that she has. And she was like, no, but, and I was like, then how would you feel if someone, since you are also selling, how would you feel if someone does such and such and such?
Ish.
Yeah,
You see
and then they started seeing things differently, and I was telling them like the power of
putting yourself in other people's shoes.
because that's the key of business. About business, like one thing that I've learned with people who are rich and business people, the respect that they have for each other, you would swear that they are best friends. Only to find they've never met, but it's just that
they're not even friends.
real recognize real still sharp and steel,
Yes,
still
sir.
sharp and steel.
As diamonds
So
shine, diamonds.
exactly. So it's like the other races. You know that other race when they see one person who's their race in the midst of other people who are not,
You know,
they
that's how they
recognize
treat
them.
They do.
They treat them with
the manners,
but you
man.
find out that it's us who don't.
Us,
So
Dad.
I'm saying that not that I'm making this about race, but
Yeah,
I'm saying that to say what's it.
Oh.
The thing is, you can have the best customer service, bro, but sometimes people will find ways to look for something to criticize.
Man,
Yeah,
it's crazy you mentioned that, because just to, there's a story. So apologies to interject,
Yeah.
because this happened yesterday. Where I grind. Also our beautiful black customers, a lady and her husband, they went upstairs. You know what I mean? And it was busy, bro. But they had the care, the proper care. Our manager came through. Gave her, made sure she's cool. How? Okay. After they had their supper, they're coming down. I'm wondering what's going on. This customer, she's standing in the entrance. Now she's talking to other customers. She's angry. We're like, hey, what's going on? So we go to attend all of us, right?
Yeah.
She's like, no, she wasn't treated well, you know what I mean? She sat there for long. No one's come to check for other people. They were just coming through. They were being helped. They were being checked on. We're like, what do you mean? I'm like, hey, let me call the manager upstairs. He's like, what's going on? We're like, hey, there's a customer else saying this. He's like, what? He was actually surprised.
Yeah, because I came.
I checked her, I made sure she was good. Her food was good. She's like, I'm like, what's up? We're like, oh, you know what? The attention. Then we like, she comes back to like, she's black. And that hurts us as black customers because we made sure everything went well to the core. Now the worst part is she even was involved with other customers.
That's the thing.
And we were like,
that's
how?
The thing.
Now we see when you get that information from the manager upstairs, he's like, dude, I made sure everything. Yeah. The only reason she was saying that is because the other table firstly was a big table.
True.
Not just, we're not talking two people, we're talking like 14 or 15.
In the sense of business, it makes sense.
So they have to be constantly checked up on because you know, and they were like they had a party, you know, they had a function.
Yeah, true.
We made the function. So whereas if you said it function, about two.
I think you do remember even when we were there, like at the KZN house,
right?
Like remember when there was a function? We were being asked to
so we can be like,
because we know how it works.
It's
like, no, it's okay, sis.
So I'm just ngisikala into shows out it's even buhlungu le nto ukuthina udakuza issue yabo manje kuba buhlungu even more because like bagolisa igama labanye odak, not all of us.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I'm telling you, King Man. Uthola ukuthi mhlambe they had an altercation with the man.
That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what the girl like. There's no way.
Altercation.
Yeah, and now she's taking that out.
And comparison. That's another thing that we do as people.
Terrible.
Like at the the problem is we always like to compare. No, the umakelane has this, but I'm not being. But now you can't. You cannot go see. I'm not saying that's the thing. That's the thing. You cannot come with the second-hand price and expect the brand new quality car.
You can't, bro.
Service. Understand?
Ever.
And the funny thing is, I've been to Jack's Grills and you were not even there, but the service that I got there was so perfect. Even the tip spoke for itself.
Imagine.
Maybe they didn't want to pay the tip.
You know?
Maybe they didn't want to pay for the food. Maybe they don't, because that's why, bro.
That could have done it there.
But even like for me, when you say there was a husband, she was with the husband. For me, the image, the picture has already been painted. I can see even with the husband, she likes to be the person who wants to have the first word. So for you there, as a person who's rendering a service, it's very important, guys. I have to urge this. Don't take it personal.
Yeah, don't ever take it personal, no matter what.
Yes, you may be ruffled a bit, but don't take it personal, because now the thing is, other people, like let's say the management, maybe think it's you, but I'm glad in your case because the manager was able to go there first and check if everything was well. Because that's what I'm saying. With most abantu abaningi, they go there. Sometimes, a person can go to an establishment. They go there not because they want to support the establishment, but they just want to check.
They want to, they want to analyze and see.
How did
they have a negative agenda?
How did Simosaki create the studio? They always have a negative agenda. So now, as a person, you have to train yourself and teach yourself to understand what there are some certain people. That's why, in most cases, I remember I've spoken about this before. There was a person back in the day. I think it was back in the day, centuries, or I don't want to say centuries, but decades and decades.
But back in the days, decades ago.
That person, he was a black guy, he used to be a barber for white people only. I'm not criticizing our race, but then I know our people.
You understood, this is...
I understand. And that
Yeah.
person was like a multi-millionaire.
Imagine.
Because people, they know if their service is being rendered. So, and someone can come with an agenda, they do what we are saying there. I'm not criticizing, they are projecting. So, umuntu is having a
so there's a difference now. You're not building onto what is here.
Exactly.
You're now destroying. I'm trying to be I'm being professional. I'm working towards coming from having a tuck shop. No, starting from the street to having a tuck shop. My aim is to get a store, to having a warehouse. But people will crush you so much when you're still selling on the store, like in the street. Now, you see, the thing is, if you take that personal,
Yeah,
you'll
it
never get
kills
to the
you.
warehouse, my
Yeah,
brother.
but injalo nje mfethu King, man, I'm just
Yeah.
glad to say like you were able to go through
Yeah.
that situation,
no, for
because
sure.
this
Yeah,
was
yeah,
an
yeah,
eye
yeah.
opener. But at
Of
the same
course.
time, like I'm coming from, so that's the thing about my thing is with abantu say with sales, like one thing that I've always been people with it sales, I never show a sense of get desperate or that I need.
That's
the thing.
100%.
That's one thing that I've
100%.
noticed.
100%.
You don't show the sense of being
So,
desperate.
Don't be desperate.
Like
by any
who
means.
intensified that
Any
for
means.
me. These are two people who intensified that for me. I think it was KO.
Mhm.
As much as I don't listen to his
Yeah,
music,
yeah,
but he was
but-
him and his song.
Mm.
The power of value is scarcity
Knowing
is
your
very
value,
important. Exactly.
understanding
Don't
the
be
value of
desperate.
what you're bringing.
Don't be
Do
desperate.
not, man. I'm never, even when.
Don't be desperate.
Listen, bro. Even when sometimes, you know, customers can be so rowdy and very angry and like be posh. They really can come with anger and attack.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Even if you made a mistake, even if
True.
even if you made a mistake, that's
True.
another thing. But we may have to talk on that next time.
True.
But sometimes you make the mistake, right?
True.
And you did. Okay, you know what? I didn't meet the demands
true.
of the service.
True.
Listen, bro. Still, do not be at the point where you have a beggar mentality. And I'm not
true.
saying at the same time be prideful, but understand, which you know what, you made a mistake.
Acknowledge
the mistake and really do apologize. But don't let them act as if now you're at their mercy.
Yeah, don't over apologize.
Don't over apologize. But here, that's another one, because that's
true.
another one.
But
This time we'll dive into
Yeah.
what we call, because
Yeah.
I've noticed many other places which I've been around, they have that mentality of having a begging mentality, a beggar, you know what I mean, or a victim of desperation. There's something in customer service called the right of admission.
True.
But let's save it for now.
True.
Yeah,
true,
there we need to dive into when can you now. They say the customer is always right, but there are ways we can work with that.
Yeah, true.
When the customer is actually wrong, and how do we deal with that?
True.
But that's for next time, folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, because I don't for real. But that was customer service. But nonetheless, man, now I'd like us to dive into another level of customer service. Corporations versus art.
Yeah, true.
We've seen the same old, story of I'm an artist, I do music, you know what I mean? I'm an actor.
I need donations.
And I get into corporations, right?
You as the person who has been killing it in the
field. And you're a legend. You're booked everywhere.
We even know the price that you charge.
You know what I mean?
Maybe like you were doing 150,000
rands, right?
Per show, and then on the weekend you had maybe 15 shows.
Yeah, you know what I mean? On the weekend.
And
on your, you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
It was December. You had the song of
even if it's not December, because there are some people
that live like that.
Yeah.
But then what you find, I see one day on the story on social media, on the tabloids, that says, Aibo, you're attacking the companies that's been using you and abusing you.
True.
You know what I mean? You're not getting the money that we thought you were getting.
True.
As much as you're doing these gigs, man, you're actually struggling in debt.
True.
You're like, what?
True. Yeah.
What's going on, man? What is this corporate versus
I feel
art?
like, for me, King Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Is we were on our way here. We spoke about the business acumen and stuff.
Yes.
But sometimes, I feel like one thing that I've noticed, even these business people, they love to target people who are clueless about business and who don't give a damn about business.
Facts. Yeah,
that's another thing.
That's another thing I've learned.
That's why I'm not a friend of a person who's on my vibes.
Let's vibe.
Because as you vibe, someone is vibing on your pocket.
Yes.
Yeah,
someone is having a pause.
Is having a vibe on your
pockets.
And now the thing is, the once you start to ask more questions as well,
they start.
They close the doors. They do what we call gatekeeping.
Yeah, they gatekeep. They 8-ball you too.
Exactly. Yeah, so man, it trick, but at the same time, it brings me to Lente Ufarelo and said, music without business, it's exploitation. And business without music, it's a waste of time. Yabo. The business needs the product, but the product needs to be aware of the business. Yabo. We spoke about this before. Even like when you read contracts, you need to be sure what says in your But I want to hear your take on it as well.
My take on it is this is my take, bro, and I'll give examples.
Mm.
But because having been on both sides,
True.
you
True.
see, I'm gonna speak of what I've learned now, where I'm at now.
True.
The two need each other, right?
True.
And when I say that, I used to be very big on being independent, doing what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that's okay, right? But I realized I don't have the resources to
True.
do that, right?
True. Which is business.
Which is business, actually. You see, and I've also been a victim of business whereby I had no clue about business,
Mm.
and there were resources, but those that resources, they abused me.
True.
Straight up, they abused me
on.
and used it, and I never get royalties for that. I'm not gonna go into that story, but I was a manageable for a certain artist, you know, and turns out we didn't get the money we need to get. You see, you know, years later I realized, man, we didn't understand the contracts basically. You see, so having learned both sides, the two need each other. Now let's go to Ambitious. I wanna use this lady. Make an example through the lady known as. I remember the Ambitious case when artist Aries, we're talking Aries MT. You know, there was the case where my artist thought, "Hey, we're being exploited." Wara wara, and they got out from Ambitious. You know, it was a terrible thing. I noticed a pattern. So I noticed someone who stayed there, which I was like, what is going on with her? Miss Prue, DJ Miss Prue. When I found out on Miss Prue, because she's been there for a while. I think she's still there from now.
No, I think she did left.
Yeah, I think she left. But nonetheless, there was no squabs, bad blood
Same
when they left. Same with Java, right? Yeah. You know what I learned? I learned, firstly, they read their contracts. Secondly, they had lawyers.
True.
Meaning they were aware of the business of what they were doing.
Exactly.
And since till this day, I've never heard Shava say, hey.
Exactly.
I've never heard Miss Prue say, hey, F them.
No.
Yes, there were some.
But from a business
perspective, bro, things went well.
What you put in is what you get out. The contract, it binded you because you knew what
I'm gonna get.
Exactly.
If it's 7%, brother, then it's 7%.
Exactly. And again, speaking of that 7%, we were talking about it. So good. Abanye abantu, I think I was even saying sometimes one can say, but why am I getting 7%? But let's talk about how many doors are going to be open
for you
with
now,
that 7%.
With that 7%.
And Jay-Z once correlated and said, would you rather have a 7% portion of 1 trillion than to have 100% of $7?
Choose.
Yeah,
so we have to. You have to be like.
Emotions filter them out.
Filter emotions out.
That's why even the bantu who are always complaining about Ambitious. It's all based on emotions.
It's all based on emotions.
That's why. And King Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I was telling someone because I was Cafe that I'm currently in Uguti. They never make this mistake of having friends in a work environment. Ever. I don't want to have friends
ever.
I don't intend to have friends.
I don't
because
have
I came here to make money.
I got
not
colleagues.
Friends.
I got colleagues I'm very, very good with, and colleagues which we just call
exactly. I don't want to be friends. I don't know, because once you become friends, you start to know about my personal life. Then it interrupts the work that we
are. So now when I come to work, I'm able to be a professional.
Don't have friends in a workplace.
Don't have friends in the workplace.
I believe don't have friends in a work environment.
Don't even believe.
If you do that, you are setting up yourself for a disaster.
A disaster. No, it's true.
Like you were desperate when you were looking for the shop. These guys, they were so ambitious. It's funny because these guys, they never talk about the money that this man puts in.
Yeah, they never talk about the business he had to and the context. Listen, brother, these people now, the fan base they have.
Yeah.
Firstly, they didn't have a fan base. One thing I appreciate, respect, and love about the Ambitious situation for those artists, even those that left, was how Ambitious, firstly, for me, it was what artist development.
Exactly.
Ambitious showed artists did something we haven't seen in a while. Artist development, and two, artist development allowed them to have what? Gave them a fan base.
Bro,
all the fans they have.
Let's be honest. Even Nosa said it, but they. Ambitious is like if I were to put, obviously I would put Galawa because they focus.
They do.
Ambitious is number 2, but at some point Ambitious was number 1. Even besides because they focused more on the artist development. Yabo.
You see,
Manje, it's fun. It's sad because some of the artists that were suing the Ambitious, they are no longer like getting the
Yeah,
money that they were
yeah,
getting.
they
They won't tell us,
yeah,
obviously.
they won't
But
tell
I'm
us.
just, I'm not, and Nakon,
Won't
I'm
tell
not
us.
saying this to defend the
No,
Ambitious.
no.
But guys, you have to understand
The
business
business
is
acumen.
business.
Business is business.
We don't
But
feel emotions.
business is
Like
business.
that's why you
Art
should go
is
see.
art.
It's funny because Abatabani, they don't talk about the money that this man
Put in a
put
lot. Well, we talk.
Yabo.
He put in multi-millions.
Exactly.
I'm
And
saying, and probably
he
even
has to
more.
see his money,
Yeah.
like his profits like coming back. Yeah, but man, the thing is, that's why I guess you say about the corporates and the arts.
Yeah.
The arts delves more into the emotion,
And of course, corporate delves more into the
logic. It's just that
As
job shows like the two need each other. But the thing is, the
It's a
business is
collaboration.
ruthless.
That's
The
what it
nature
is.
of business is
It's
ruthless.
ruthless.
So that's why it goes back to the that decision customer service of developing
a thick skin.
Yeah, but with the criticism,
see.
business is tough.
Business
You have
is
to
naturally
develop
tough.
a
And
thick skin.
fit.
Awukwazi namhlanje
You have
ukuthi uzolala uthi hayi ngiwangizizwa
Nah.
ukuthi awana kwathi
No.
and then who's uzothatha imali?
Where you gonna get the money from? Listen,
Yabo.
bro. At the same time, and I also and if business needs the art and the art needs the business.
Mm.
For me, right, the business is ruthless. It's tough, right?
True.
Yabona, I've also learned as an artist.
Mm.
Listen, bro. As an artist, about that ruthlessness or that drive.
Mm.
That same drive is the same drive you also need to make your art.
Yeah,
I may
true.
not be a good businessman.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But that drive of, let's say, I prefer to work with people that are more business minded than me.
Yeah, true.
Because they would, in terms of the art, there are artists which are good at being both artists and business. But there are artists that are good at being artists. You know what I mean? Their drive, though, they use to make art, and then you get business people to collaborate with. Because that's what it is. This is a collaboration of business and art. But I was saying this, brother. You see that drive. Let's say, for example, right, you're the one. Let's say I'm signed to a gallery, right? Or even signed to the music. Yeah. Let's make this simple. Lil Wayne and Birdman. Listen, bruh. Lil Wayne, I'm a Lil Wayne. I'm gonna make my art. I need to have the drive to make my art. You know why? Because you need the music to sell. You're gonna be like, listen, bro, hey, where's the album? Okay, we made it. Business says, listen, in 6 months we're dropping an album.
And the album,
can't be
like in 6 months, that album needs to be sent in maybe 4 months prior.
You see, I can't be chilling and sitting and
like, no,
bruh. You see, I need the same. That's what I'm saying. The drive of the business. I need to drive myself to make that. Okay, hey, listen. Same of it. I got like maybe I made actually 50 songs. Right, I made 100 songs. From this 100 songs, hey, can we then select the album? Oh, okay, sure. Because this is a label. The product is the art is the product.
Yeah, but
we need to sell.
and then even no DJ Tira once said Leon to add the biggest brand that he had, they were so hard. Like Oengagaza stressing Uspana was a Big Nas.
Yeah.
Because the Big Nas was always putting in the work, putting in the Big Nas was always on top of it. So manje, it becomes a problem when an artist realizes, okay, yeah, I've made it, but then
they're relaxing. No, bro, it's the work. It's the work. It doesn't work that way, bro.
It doesn't work.
So it doesn't work that way.
Like we have to understand, and we need to be vested in both.
Yeah, you need to be vested in and
the business. Because sometimes for you to be in step with the arts, you don't need to be too much of a business person. So in order for your art to thrive, you don't need to be in certain rooms to be too artsy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's why it's a collaboration. Yeah. I love the word you used earlier on when you said it's a collaboration of the two. You know, as Pharrell said it, but for me, it's a collaboration of the two. And when you collaborate, okay, we need to both understand the dynamics of this collaboration. And execute.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, man. That's what it is, man. You know, and just without further ado, man, do give thanks to everyone, man. That was the session.
Who's been listening? So I would like to give thanks to those who are listening to the episode.
Yeah, man. To those that share, to those that
share,
please
continue
do
to
please do subscribe, man.
I will continue to give you these shows.
More's on the way, man.
Yeah. So for myself, peace, love, and unity.
You know, myself too, man. Thank you much, brother, for the platform. You know what I mean? Once again, thank you to Far Radio, Far Sessionist, and yeah, man. I just like to say thank you. I'm grateful.
No problem.
Peace, love.
Salute.
Salute.